Hey guys, it's Brian of 288 Guys and Gear. Today I've got a quick impromptu video for you guys on castle nuts. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that Sean and I, we look for bargains. We do a lot of value shopping, things of that nature. You know, we're not out buying Troy Industry rails, things of that nature. So and this is no exception when it comes to castle nuts. I was on Amazon the other day. I needed a castle nut. I bought it for $8 on Prime. Showed up in 2 days like they always do, and I got it and I was all excited. I was going to go put it on my buffer tube. And sure enough, what happens? I get it and it does not fit. Go figure, right? It won't fit. So I guess for whatever reason from the factory, the threads on it are shot, cross-threaded, whatever you want to say, and I was really frustrated about it. So went out to my local gun shop, Engage Armament, and they hooked me up with two awesome US-made castle nuts to replace this one. But as I was looking at this one, because I was so frustrated with it, I started looking at it and I found some other problems with it too. So I want to take the time, get the camera over on the workbench, do a close-up and show you guys exactly what the problem is with this cheap import castle nut. So let me get the camera resituated and we'll go over here to the workbench and check it out. Okay guys, here we are. We have our 3 castle nuts. We have our Amazon castle nut, we have our White Oak castle nut, and then we have our LBE castle nut. These two here are US made. They're about $8. Got them at the local gun shop, Engage Armament. Those guys are they're awesome, so big shout out to them. So I want to show you guys that the LBE and the White Oak, they're more or less the same. Okay. Now the Amazon nut though is considerably different, and here's why. As you can see, the White Oak and the LBE, they both have 3 points on the back side, or notches I should say, on the back side that are used to stake your castle nut if you desire to do that. Some guys do, some guys don't. The Amazon nut is completely smooth all the way around the back side, so you do not have an option of staking if you desire to do that. Okay, so there's a problem. Next, let's look at the outside diameter of these. You know, there we go. Like I said earlier, cheap tools. This is our micrometer. It's made in the USA, but man, it's low end. Okay, so let's see here. We have 1 and 300 and let's call that 376 thousandths. Okay, for the outside diameter on the LBE. On the White Oak, we have 1 and 371 thousandths, and then whoops, on the Amazon, we are all the way down to, whoops, 1 and 345 thousandths. So if you're asking yourself, what's it matter? You know, who cares if it's a little bit wider? Well, let me show you. You take your AR tool and you're getting ready to crank down on your castle nut to torque it on. Well, this thing, you know, it's got some slop in it. You know, it's not an awesome fit, but you know, for the most part, you can really get in there. You can crank down on it, and you know it's not going to slip out or anything like that. You have a good bite on it, okay? And the same with the White Oak, because they're, for all intensive purposes, the same. You have a lot of bite on it. But you move over to this thing that's considerably smaller, and you can see, get it in there, there's considerably more play in it, and there's more of a chance of this thing slipping out. So when that thing slips out, you're either going to bust your knuckles, you're going to scratch your gun, whatever, and that's the last thing you need, okay? So now let's look at one more thing here. Let's take our scale. Hopefully we can see it on the camera. This is my old Pinewood Derby scale from Cub Scouts. Let's see how much they weigh. So the Amazon nut is 0.605 ounces. The White Oak Armament nut is 0.665 ounces. And then LBE is 0.670 ounces. So, you know, these two are considerably more than your Amazon nut. So, I mean, you have a little bit more mass there, which is nice. That, you know, I'm sure a lot of that is obviously because the outside diameter is different. And as I showed you earlier, and you can see a little bit more of a close-up now, this nut just flat out won't screw on, as to where this castle nut here, the White Oak, screws on all day long. LBE, oops, screws on all day long. So there you have it. If you're going to go buy your castle nuts or any parts, lower end will work sometimes, but not always. So you know, it's better sometimes just go to the local gun shop, support your local gun shop, and buy your parts from them, and you know you got a good quality American made product. Alrighty, let's rearrange the camera I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, well there you have it. So you can see the difference in the Amazon Castle Nut and your US made Castle Nuts. So there is a difference. You know, Sean and I, we always said in our videos, you know, how we always look for the lower end stuff, and I said it earlier in this video, we generally shop for the lower end stuff, whether it's Wolf Ammo, the Harbor Freight ultrasonic cleaner that's over my shoulder, High Point Firearms, UTG rails, UTG optics, whatever. And it's always worked out great for us. Occasionally you get a lemon, and this was a lemon, so we definitely wanted to show it to you guys, bring it to your attention that just because we tout the stuff doesn't mean it's always right. So luckily this was only an $8 part, $9 part, whatever it worked out to be. So, you know, if I threw it in the trash, I wouldn't lose sleep over it really, but I am going to return it just out of spite. Leave a bad review on Amazon for it, so hopefully it'll help somebody else in the future and they won't buy one. But, you know, sometimes we get it wrong with buying the low-end stuff, and this was it. So, anyhow, I hope you guys found this video informative, and I hope you liked it, and if you did, please subscribe.